Hi, Michael Thibault here, Done For You Marketing Systems. Thanks so much for stopping by for this week's edition of Mike's Marketing Minutes. And I got something super excited about today, and it's about pictures. We all hate to do it for our businesses, but it's so important for your marketing, right? And everything is very, very visual because of the internet now. So I'm not talking just about websites. I'm talking about websites, social media, using those pictures in your print. And this isn't just for restaurants. It goes for restaurants, auto repair shops, retail, even personal services. So it's important to every business and it's important to every aspect of your marketing. The saying goes, pictures sell. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is we do a lot of websites, and I do a lot of websites for restaurants, and restaurants are very, very visual, right? Because of the food, because people come in and they're using your food pics to see and visually taste what your food's going to be like. So I'm going to restaurants as an example. And like I said, I do a lot of websites for restaurants, so we see a lot of pics that come across our office. So I'm going to show you some that really aren't that appetizing, right? You don't want your customers looking like this poor little fellow when they're looking at your food. So I'll give you some do's and don'ts, what to do and what not to do when trying to market your business and using those pics, especially when it comes to restaurants. So here's an example of someone that took a picture in a carryout container, which you have to be aware of what your food is presenting it. That's one of the big details when taking a food pic is what plate is it on? Is it in a carryout container? So it does not look like a big blob of food that you can't make out what it is, and it doesn't look good in the way it's presented, okay? So be cognizant of how your food is presented and what it's sitting at. Now here's an example of, I think it's a burger, and it's sitting on a really nice white plate. Right? And the lighting's pretty good, and it's got the blurred background, but it's an actual hamburger, right? Like this is either eaten or, the crust just came off. There's a big piece that looks like bacon, just hanging there, and this is blocking the little soup cup. Is filled with something, we don't know what it is, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look appetizing. I don't look at this and go, man, I'm hungry for a burger. And I am hungry right now because when I'm shooting this, it's lunchtime and I haven't had lunch yet. But this isn't doing it for me, okay? So this isn't making me hungry. It's not making me want to call this restaurant. So here's another example of I think this is a burger. I don't know. It looks like it's got egg on it, cheese. It's just a big blob mess. So it's a close-up, which is a great technique for your items, and the lighting isn't bad, but the actual food item doesn't look appetizing. So be aware, what does your food actually look like? How is it being presented? There's all different kinds of tricks that you can use to help your food look better on camera. And this isn't one of them, okay? Just looks like a hunkin' sandwich of all different, you got cheese on there. It's just way too much going on. Doesn't look good. It's not making me hungry. Here's one actually that I got from Martha Stewart's Instagram. Can you believe it? Martha Stewart. This is disgusting. I don't know what the heck this is. It's just it looks like okra or some type of vegetable with this, ugly sauce on it. And, in the background, I don't know what the heck she's trying to do here, but this does not look appetizing, okay? And the way it's cropped, the way it's focused, it just doesn't look good. Sometimes it's better to take a shot straight on, depending on what it is, and sometimes it's better to take a shot from above, all right, depending on how much you want to get and what the angle is. And please, we get so many of these, right? So this is an example of they're not paying attention to what it's on, but it's just frankly, I think it's not a very attractive plate, but it's obviously pasta with some brown sauce, and it's just like a big blob of yuck, right? A big blob of mush. I am not getting hungry looking at this picture, and I am not calling this restaurant. So even though they might have great food, it just isn't presented well visually. Okay, and this was actually on their website. So you don't want to present food that looks like a big brown blob, okay? What we're looking for, I'm going to show you some examples now of some very tasty food pics. What we want is, we want the pic to look so good that we can't wait to eat it. We want to eat that picture, right? It's making us hungry just looking at it if you own a restaurant. Here's a picture from one of our clients from their website, professionally done photo, and this is like a seafood pasta, right? And you see the scallops on top and the mussels, and they have the little neck clams. It looks good. This is a close-up pic. All right, it's on a white plate, so it accentuates the different colors of the food. Super important. I see this, I'm getting hungry just looking at it. And you think, plain food, right? How am I going to make that look good? Here's an example from a client. You might think lasagna, that's not going to look good. That's really hard to take a picture of, right? Make it look good. All right, this is done on a white plate. Really has the sauce and the colors stand out. But look at it. The sauce is drizzling over the side. The cheese is melted perfectly. There's differentiation in between the different layers. This is making me hungry. I want this lasagna. Okay, so this is helping sell their product. Sushi, if you do sushi, is great. Again, you can see the different color variations, and they're using a plain white plate. They're filming it from above, and you can see the lighting. Here's one of my favorites, and this is what I mean. You can use your pictures in all different types of marketing. This is actually on their website. Simple, right? It's a chocolate mousse pie with the strawberry, really nice garnish. The whipped cream looks fresh. And like I said, this is done on their website in an email to help promote, but this captures your eye, and the contrast between the strawberry and the chocolate mousse pie and then the white whipped cream on top. It works, and it creates visual tasting that is pleasant to the eye, and I want that. Okay, and I love chocolate mousse pie. Again, with pasta, just using a simple pasta pick, but light sauce and the way the cheese sits atop the pasta. So using this, and this was actually using their email to help sell Pasta Day. Okay, so there's all different things you can do when you're taking food pics. You just have to be aware of how it looks. Okay, and get someone else's opinion, right? Ask them. Here's another thing when you're taking pictures. A picture of an empty restaurant or an empty business with a bunch of chairs, I'd rather see people enjoying themselves, having fun, because I make that association. That's what I want. I want to go somewhere where it's fun. There's a bunch of people having a great time and they're happy right now. Look at all the wonderful food on the table and see how it's kind of blurred out. So be careful when you're taking pictures of your customers. You need to get permission. Again, I'm not an attorney, but I like to see, have your staff, maybe your family, your friends come in and use them in the pics. But I'd like to see pics showing an experience. This looks like a place you'd want to go and be a part of. Drinks, cocktails, oh my goodness. Craft cocktails are all the rage, right? So dress it up just like your food. Pay attention to the glassware. Pay attention to see how that's blurred out. That looks awesome. That makes me want to try those drinks. All right, it's selling me. Here's a picture of a good friend of mine, Jeff Baldwin. He owns 2 restaurants here in Michigan. And it's, this is his 2 sons and his daughter-in-law, and they help run the restaurants, obviously. But look, it's an action shot. It's not boring, right? They do a great job with their photos and their pics. And so, having them Jeff's doing a little saute. His son's doing the wine tasting. The other one's tossing up the pizza. His daughter-in-law is ready to, garnish one of the dishes. So it's good to have action in your photos because it draws attention and it's not boring, and it will help sell your experience. So to sum this all up, to give you a couple secrets to make mouth-watering pics. Remember, angles are important. If you're shooting from above, you're shooting it, straight on. If you're doing it on an angle from above, that's important. Lighting. Lighting is so important. Natural lighting is the best. I love that. But when it comes to food, you have to do, there's shadow boxes. There's different lights that you're bouncing. It's very, very complicated, but pay attention to your lighting. Also, mind your surroundings. People always forget about that when they're taking photos, right? What do you see in the background? What do you see on the plate? What's it sitting on? Is there a napkin? Or who's in the photo and what do they look like? Make those photos pop. You don't want it boring. You want contrast in the colors. My suggestion is hire a professional. What I used to do when I had my restaurant, I used to get photographers and trade them for gift cards for the restaurant. That way there was no out-of-pocket expense for me. But if you do hire a photographer, get a professional, hire somebody that knows what they're doing, that has done food pics before if you're doing it for a restaurant. And the reason why I'm talking about photos today and sharing all this content with you on how to take pics is because you want to use those pics and they're going to last, right? If you get good ones taken in the beginning when you're first starting, maybe you're redoing your website or you're doing some social media or emails, pay attention because you can use those evergreen. You're going to have them on your website. You can put them in your emails. You can use them in your social media, in your print marketing. Heck, I used to use them in my staff training, right? This is what this plate should look like. So pay attention to those photos. It's going to help sell your food, auto repair shops, retail, and professional services, right? Very, very important to have good quality photos because that's what's important with your online marketing. If you need help with any of this, or to talk about your website, email marketing, social media, print, whatever it is, again, you can click the button below and sign up for a free strategy session because you're on our list and we love you. Thank you so much for opening this email. Sign up for a free strategy session. We can jump on a call and talk about how we can help get you new customers.